Welcome to Rehoboth Baptist Church Sunday School Rewind. We are so excited to have you back with us. Don't forget, please share this video. Share the video. You want someone else to be blessed by today's Sunday School Rewind. Also, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page. Oh, we are so excited today. Reverend Thompson did an amazing job in our Sunday school this morning. And so we're excited and looking forward to today's Rewind. Reverend Thompson, thank you so much for being with us on the Rewind. We're so glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can share with us and walk us through Sunday's lesson. Oh, what a wonderful time. So thank you all for joining us, and we look forward to seeing your comments and your likes for the video for today.
Today, our Sunday school lesson is titled Free to Worship, and the theme is God frees and redeemed, coming from Ezra, the 6th chapter, verses 1 through 12. In these scriptures, our key verse today was coming from Ezra, the 6th chapter, verse 12, which say, "May God, who has caused his name to dwell there, overthrow any king or people who lift a hand to change this decree or to destroy this temple in Jerusalem." Our lesson aim was to review the probative role of King Darius in getting the new temple built in Jerusalem, and for us to ponder excuses that we often use for failing to act in accordance to God's will, and for us to be able to confess our personal failing before God and be able to receive the joy of forgiveness and get on with the task at hand. Here in our lesson today, we have Tatnai, the governor of Trans-Euphrates, and others along with him had sent a letter to King Darius concerning the rebuilding of the temple, because they seen where the Jews was rebuilding the temple, and they wanted to know whether or not they had permission to be able to build this temple. So they sent a letter out saying, if it pleases the king, let a search be made. And so the search was made for the decree that King Cyrus had did, but when they looked in Babylon, they was unable to find it, so they had to end up looking in, they found it in Actima among the archives. You see that as the reason the King Darius went into having the decree found was because there was people who was in opposition of them rebuilding the temple. And so Tatnai, the governor, and all those who was against it, they was told by King Darius that they was to not interfere into what the Jews were doing, that they were to make sure that they received everything that they needed daily and not to interfere with their work. So we see that when God has a plan, and he will provide the provisions that is needed to do what needs to be done. And so in our lesson, we had many discussions on how God will make sure that everything that needs to be done will be done. And so as when they did the search for the decree, they seen that they did have permission to build the temple, and that King Cyrus had made this decree that they was to have provision for everything that was needed for the temple. So we see that in this lesson, all the treasury, all the money that they needed came from the royal treasury. So they didn't have to spend out any money. And then it was to be made sure that they received the animals and the wheat and all that they needed to make sacrifice daily to the temple, because this was part of what they did every day until the Lord was to offer sacrifice. And the wheat was like a good smelling savor unto the Lord as they did the sacrifice. See in this lesson that God already had provided everything that the Jews needed in order to rebuild the temple, because through King Cyrus decreed all the things that they needed would be given unto them, including the wheat and the animals that would be used for the sacrifice. For this was the purpose of the temple being rebuilt. And then, and we see that all the gold and silver at this time was put back into the temple that King Nebuchadnezzar had taken from them. So it was brought back into Babylon and put inside the temple of the house of God. This is when they was told by the decree not to interfere with anything that was going on with the building of the temple. In our today's lesson, the question concerning the warning given to the people to leave the Jews alone as they do the work that God called them to do, can that be viewed as a warning for modern believers who criticize or object to the work to which other Christians have committed themselves? And the question was why or why not? And so we had a great discussion on that we too need to be, careful when it comes to criticizing others that are doing the work that God has told them to do, because we realize God gave them that vision. He told them what to do. And so instead of us criticizing, we need to seek discernment. One of the things that we were told, comment was made that, seek discernment in these things when this happen, and to pray to God. Sometimes we can interfere in what God is doing in a person's life when we begin to criticize and begin to put oppositions in the work that God has ordained them, called them to do. I mentioned the comment that God can tell you something, but if we talk to the wrong people, we can cause that what they say to have super rule over what God has said, because we have listened to the wrong people, because they don't understand what you're saying to them, so they will not be able to accept that God told you to do this. So when God tells us to do something, we need to be careful who we share that with. Life application for the lesson today, some of the points I wanted to bring out was that when God makes a plan, it will come to pass no matter how long it takes. So never get discouraged when God is doing something in your life and you feel like it's not happening soon enough. Just be patient and wait on Him, and it will come to pass. Also, God will provide, so we need to keep the faith, because God will make provisions in order for His work to be done. Just like He supplied the provision for the building of the temple, He will do the same for you in whatever you have to do for the building of the kingdom, or even when you need Him to provide something just for yourself, He will make provision and He will supply for you. Also, we want you to know that when it comes to doing the work of the Lord, there will be opposition. Anytime we're doing work, we know that the enemy is busy. He doesn't want to see God's work get done, and he will do anything to discourage us. But we got to keep the faith and know that in the opposition, that God is our defender, and that He will be the one take care of that problem of the opposition. So don't give up just because opposition is there. It's there for a purpose, even if it's to help you to keep pressing on and to persevere in what you're doing. Also, God can use anyone to make His plan come to pass. As we think about how He used the pagan king and other people that you think that He wouldn't use, He used them to make sure that His work get done. So that lets us know that we should not dismiss anyone that God sends to help us, because that could be God using that person to help us to be able to receive that which we need to receive from Him. So always be careful not to be ready to dismiss anyone when they want to give you a helping hand, because it's the Spirit of God that is working in them, causing them to do what they are doing for you. And so we seen a video on Pursuit of Happiness, basketball, and games. And in that film, it showed where Will Smith's son was practicing and playing basketball, and he told his son that he probably wouldn't get no further than what he got. And so in a way, he was speaking discouragement to his son, and his son just gave up and stopped bouncing the ball, when he realized what he was saying to his son was a discouragement. And he quickly told him, don't let anyone prevent you from fulfilling your dream, not even me. And so that's what we need to do. We need to not let anyone discourage us in fulfilling our dreams, not to let anyone discourage us when it comes to doing the work of the Lord. We always need to persevere and stay encouraged. And so this ends our Sunday school lesson. And I want to thank you all for tuning in, and thank you for listening to this recap of the Sunday school lesson. And you be blessed, and make sure that you apply this lesson to your life.
Thank you so much, Reverend Shirley. That was amazing and awesome. You did a phenomenal job. And so we're looking forward to everyone that joined us today. Remember to share this with your family, your friends. Also, don't forget to like inside of there and share a comment. What are some things that maybe you have thought God had called you to do, but were discouraged by others? And think of, and just share your testimony with somebody else, because they may need to hear it. Remember to like the video. Make sure you share it with your families and friends, and meet us back here next week, where we will be going through celebration of completion. We're still going to be in Ezra, the 6th chapter, but now we're coming to the end of it, chapter verses 13 and 22. So study the lesson. You know what? Why not read all of Ezra 6? That way you can understand the context of it. It is a phenomenal story. And this is the final celebration where they get to celebrate the completion of the temple. Minister Shirley, thank you so much for today's rewind. We love you, and we look forward to the next time where you all will join us back here for the rewind. Have a great day.